Sudah bersama saya, Saudara Duta Besar Rusia untuk Indonesia, Ibu Lyudmila Vorobieva. Mrs. Ambassador, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me. So, Mrs. Ambassador, you came to Jakarta around March 16th, and on the same month, by the end of March, hundreds of Russian diplomats were expelled from the UK, the US, and some other European countries. However, Indonesia did not take the same action. How does Russia respond to that?
First of all, let me say that I'm very happy to be in Jakarta. I enjoy very much being here. I spent many years in Southeast Asia in my previous posting, so every time I come to this wonderful region, it feels like coming home. And I feel the very warm welcome from Indonesian colleagues and Indonesian people. As for the expulsion of our diplomats, well, Indonesia has always been a good friend and partner of our country, and we appreciate very much the independent voice of Indonesia in international affairs, the not giving into the pressure applied by some countries. It is evident that Indonesia will not participate in this war, and I would like to stress that this hasn't been initiated by Russia. It is not our wish to engage in this kind of wars or games. Our intention is to develop our bilateral relations and cooperation with the countries that are ready to do so.
This whole diplomatic strain happened after the incident involving Sergei Skripal in the UK. In Russia's view, what's the best way to investigate this and finding the facts?
You already mentioned the words investigation and finding facts. That is the best way to resolve the situation, because so far no evidence has been produced whatsoever that Russia in any way is connected to this incident. The recent news that were yesterday, I think, that the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons has confirmed that a nerve agent was used against Sergei Skripal, but we're still examining this report in Moscow. But as far as I understand, in this report, it was never mentioned Russia or even the gas Novichok. Of course, it's unacceptable that this diplomatic war was launched just on the basis of political declarations and not a thorough, transparent investigation of this case.
Now that Vladimir Putin already won the election again, is there any plan to meet with our President Joko Widodo?
Well, he hasn't yet been inaugurated. The inauguration will take place in May, and afterwards we will see. And of course, me as ambassador to Indonesia, it is my hope that this meeting will take place sometime soon.
However, Putin already met with Hassan Rouhani and also Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Turkey to talk about Syria, the conflict in Syria. How does this meeting significant to the operation and mission in Syria?
Yes, of course, this is significant because our three countries are getting together to seek ways to solve this very serious situation in Syria, and any kind of dialogue to find ways to resolve this kind of conflict is much better than tweeting threats to have military strikes against another country.
Speaking about a strike, when I prepared for this interview last week, I want to ask you about the U.S. plan to withdraw their troops from Syria. However, right now they are weighing on launching a strike in Syria. Can you comment on this change of thoughts?
Well, according to President Trump tweets, the strike may take place soon or may not take place soon. So it is, we're not engaging in this Twitter diplomacy. We need serious steps, serious declarations, and I would like to highlight that military solutions in internal conflicts do not lead to peace. So what we are seeking is an inclusive dialogue that will resolve the conflict in Syria.